100 years old and still very cleanable.
Interesting piece that just came into us, these four matching needlepoint seat cushions shipped to us from the West Coast. The customer says, can you clean them? We have a game plan. I'm going to go over that just a second, but just to give you some history, these are about 100 years old, made in the late 1920s, early 1930s. They've been covered for 60 or 70 years with a different fabric. Somebody wanted to change the look, and the customer's goal, which is the important part of whether this should be cleaned or not, but this customer's goal is to use them again, but in a different context than a seat cushion, which is good. I'm going to zoom in now and explain to you why that matters. Why does it matter what the customer wants to do with these? Let's say, for example, they wanted these four cushions to be put back on the original frame chairs, and they wanted them cleaned thoroughly, which means wet washing or water-based washing, which is the best way to clean these. As you see all this frayed material right here? And you can see it on the back too. Even though we try to protect the edges and we'll staple it down to a plywood, like this piece that you see here under the covers, that will come apart more. Most likely, it'll unravel a half to 3/4 of an inch. So if you try to put this back on and wrap it tightly around the corner of the wood and then staple it on the back or tack it, you're not going to have much meat to hold, even though for 100-year-old pieces, these are in great shape. But that is not what the customer wants. The customer is going to do something with these that will require less of the edge, maybe come out to here, which will be fine for our purposes. You can see, I'm not sure if you actually can see, you have to sort of know what you're looking at, but this piece is way off square. It's almost as if someone already tried to clean it with water-based detergents at some time in the past, although I was told that was not the case. So what we're going to do after dry soil removal is we're going to wet wash these, clean them like a delicate piece of upholstery. Of course, we're going to test for color fastness and all the dyes prior to doing that. And we're going to clean it once with tacked out, let it dry, speed dry it, do it a second time and most likely a third time to get as much soil out, but as gently and safely as possible. We'll try to show you at the end the results. Let us know what you think. Any questions, of course, leave them down below. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, please. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it if you want to see more videos like this. And we'll be back. Now let's take a look at what these pieces look after the full cleaning. You can see some of what we thought would happen, happened. Most importantly, they came out a lot cleaner. We were able to thoroughly flush these. No marks, no smudges remain from these 100 or almost 100-year-old pieces. The camera can pick that up. I'm going to do a close-up in a second, but you will see that the frayed areas have increased, but again, the customer was not going to use this to rewrap the original chairs, and I believe they went even more out of square, which I don't think is going to be a concern for the customer. Most importantly was to get them cleaned and not have the integrity of them compromised. There's no real dry rot on these, so I have to say, if you were ever to pick a piece of needlepoint to be wet clean, these are it. I'm going to come back with some close-ups right now. This beige fiber, the richness of that rose color, the colors of the floral arrangement there. Pan over to this. Very little bleeding in this fiber during the cleaning. We were able to mitigate that, but you will see the fraying, as we talked about at the beginning, how this was exaggerated from the cleaning. It's unavoidable. We tried to minimize it, but it's not always possible. You can always tell from the back too just how bright and clean the original colors were. This is the third one. Again, bright, rich colors. No visible soiling here. And let's look at the fourth one. Nice, rich rose colors here. Some beige yellows, more light reds. So overall, I think the customers are going to be very happy with that process and the results. So I think we can agree that the best option for this customer was in fact a full wet wash. I think she'll be very happy. We'll be shipping this back to her as soon as we get a chance. And there's no odor for a 100-year-old piece that's been put in use most of its days. these come out pretty clean. If you have questions, comments, if you do not agree with our results, by all means, leave a comment below. We'll address it as soon as we can. If you like the video, as always, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. And again, if you want to see more videos like this, or any cleaning of any textile, leave a comment below. But you can also subscribe to the channel by hitting the button, in the little bell next to it, and that'll advise you of when we upload a new video. Again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it.